Hi, and welcome to 7 Minutes of Wisdom for your week. Wow, this word isn't actually off my list. This is something that I will be exploring also a little bit in Astrology for the People. But it's just been a bit of a dominant theme in the energy lately that I felt was worthy of some comment, and that is self-care. So there are a few different things I want to tackle with this today. In our 7 minutes. I feel like I could talk for a lot longer than that now. I have been really bad at self-care. And maybe we should start by defining that a little bit, because I really feel like self-care differs for different people. To me, it's an act of nourishment and love towards yourself. So, for some people that includes putting on makeup. For some people, it doesn't. So it's not a matter of subscribing to necessarily what the media, what the beauty industry would define to be self-care, but more stepping into this place of deciding that nourishing ourselves is a valuable and a worthwhile activity and use of our time. And I feel like that's what we can get maybe a little bit, dodgy at sometimes. I know I personally, if you're a parent, if you're working full time, any of these things, we're told that certain activities carry more worth than others. And so while we may wash and colour our hair and put our makeup on in order to go out to work, that's not necessarily something that's nourishing to us, and we may neglect things like drinking water or taking time to light some candles in the evening and have a bath, because it's like, oh, well, that's not productive. I know it swings more in the other direction for me. I can rarely be bothered shampooing my hair and making the effort, but at the same time, that sense of centeredness that can come from that process, not as a means to an end, not as a means to looking good or fitting into how we're told we should be, but instead as a self-love meditation, instead as I'm going to slowly take the time to brush my hair now, and in doing that, still my mind and allow my thoughts to detangle along with my hair. So this is kind of what I've been reflecting on, and this is what I wanted to bring to you this week, because I feel like the main thing that stands in the way of us offering care to ourselves is actually guilt. It's guilt that, we feel like we should be doing something more important, and we feel guilty for giving to ourselves because we've been told that it's noble to give to others. But of course that brings us back around to that age-old quote that we try to remind ourselves of, and people tell us, but it never really seems to sink in, which is, you can't fill a cup with an empty jug. You literally can't. We are of far greater service to those that we love and care about if we're nourishing ourselves first. So that's my challenge to you this week. I'm going to explore that a little bit more in Astrology for the People, because we are in Cancer at the moment. And Cancer very much is nurturing and nourishment, and it's the cleansing of the self and the preparing of the self to rebirth then into Leo, which is the creative expression of our identity. And so particularly those who, I was very prone to getting up in the morning and, it's not worth the time spending on doing this and this to care for myself. I'm going to launch straight into my goals for the day or what I've got on my to-do list. But that fire, that incredible those acts of purpose, they don't have a solid foundation if they're not coming from a place of being nourished. And that's where we can tend to burn out really quickly if we try and give to the world, express ourselves, but we haven't actually filled ourselves up yet. And that's also when we have the tendency to be pulled towards other instant methods of filling ourselves, whether that's eating chocolate or watching a romance movie in the evenings. Particularly women have a tendency to fall into this, finding instant, easy ways to fill ourselves. So instead, if we can direct some of that energy inwards, we'll actually find that we've got more time, we've got more to give, we've got more to share with others. Yeah. I didn't actually give that one any thought at all. I said this is going to be a rant in the truest sense. I'm really going to sit down and just see what pours out, and that seems to be what's there today. So I hope that nourishes you, lovely people, and please, nourish yourselves. I really encourage you this week to choose even just one thing that you're going to do for yourself every day, just for you, not for anyone else, not for any long-term gain, just because it feels good and it nourishes you and it helps you really step into your self-love and your center. So thank you for joining me. I'll be back again next week. Please feel free to like, share, comment. Actually, I'd really love to hear what nourishes you. What do you do to step into that self-care space? Maybe we can share some ideas around for those of us who ain't so great at it. Yeah. Mwah. You're so loved. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next week.